Coast FM 963, home of the classic hits. Good evening, Coasties. Stephen Wheatley here with you on this Monday, the 9th of December. Hope you're having a great evening wherever you are listening in from right now. To start the hour, we had Kid Rock with his early 2000s hit All Summer Long. And, well, isn't summer definitely truly in session? But we are going to have a bit of a relief over the next couple of days in the weather. And we also had 10cc right there with Dreadlock Holly. Or if you probably ask me what I think it should actually be called, because most people know it as I Don't Like Cricket. And, well, I got to say, I'm probably not really a fan of the cricket at the moment. And, well, I know there are some people here tonight who probably may not like that, but, you know, that's okay. You know, we're all allowed to have our own different opinions. Anyway, coming up now, we're going to have something especially for any of you kiddies listening out there or any young people tuning in tonight. Here's one for you right now, courtesy of the man himself, Robbie Williams. Coast FM 963, home of the classic hits. Steve Wheatley here with you until 9 p.m. tonight. That was Some Footy One there, and that was one of my picks for this hour tonight. And I've chosen that song especially because the band is actually touring the country at the moment. They'll be performing at the Hordern Pavilion in Moore Park in Sydney on Saturday. So if you're going along to that, look forward to hearing maybe how your experience was and what you thought. Anyway, it's time for a quick break, but coming up, we're going to be playing a special request for not just a fan of Raw Youth Disability Radio, but just Coast FM in general, for my good friend Troy, who called in just a couple of moments ago, listening all the way down in Sydney in Asquith. Special shout out to you, Troy, whether you're listening in from right now. But first, a word from our station sponsor.
Central Coast Community Radio.
What a feeling, Coast FM. Believe it or not, it's the believe it or not.
Coast FM 963, home of the classic hits. Joey Scarsbury there with Believe It or Not. And believe it or not, I actually meant to have that during one of my other shifts a couple of weeks ago, listeners, but good to finally get it on the air. And we also had, before that, we had Maxine Nightingale, a special request there for Coast FM's probably number one listener, who is from Sydney, actually, believe it or not. Troy, hope you're having a good night, Troy, wherever you're listening from. Well, actually, I know where you're listening from. You're listening from Asquith. Anyway, now, coming up, you may have remembered if you were listening to the show earlier, we had a couple of songs based along this time of year, everything to do with summer and a sport we play in summer, and what's something that we say when we play one of the Australia's number one sport played in cricket. How's that? Coast FM 963, home of the classic hits. Stephen Wheatley here with you until 9 p.m. tonight. And that was Blur with their 1990s song, Song 2. I'm not joking, that's actually the name of the song, listeners, Song 2. And you know what that song always reminds me of? I think it probably reminds everybody of this. You think of immediately of the football when you hear of that. Anyway, coming up, we're going to be listening to my other pick for tonight's show about a band who recently just got back together. Little bit of a sneaky spoiler for you there. But before that, a word from our station sponsor.
What a feeling, Coast FM.
Coast FM 963, home of the classic hits. That was Oasis there with their number one hit, Wonderwall. And how is it impossible to not sing along to that song, whether you like it or you don't like it, listeners? Well, that is me for the hour. More classic hits are coming up after 9 o'clock. It's been an absolute pleasure being here with you on this Monday evening. Before I go, though, I want to give a special shout out to a good friend of mine who is celebrating a birthday today. He also celebrates his birthday today with a few famous people. He celebrates it with a lady who you may know from the 007 films, Jane Judi Dench, and also Bob Dylan and a famous American WWE wrestler. So happy birthday to wherever you are listening, or if you're not listening in to me right now, my friend. Anyway, that's it for me for the evening. I leave you with probably what is Australia's #1 Christmas song. We all know that probably in America, if you're celebrating Christmas over there, their #1 hit is Mariah Carey, but I reckon this man has Australia's #1 Christmas song. And also there is a TV or movie coming about this song, actually, funny enough at the moment. But until then, listeners, I wish you a very good evening. Until next time, bye-bye.